Welcome to Hawaii Matters, a Pacific Media Group community program. I'm your host, Kathy with a K. Is coding or computer programming the same thing? Our guests are from ICSpark, Briana Lee, Coleman Lau, and Dominic Lau. ICSpark offers a free intro to web development course at the University of Hawaii at Manoa for students grades 6 through 12. Please introduce yourself and your role with ICSpark.
Hi, my name is Briana, and I'm a master's computer science student at UH Manoa, and I am currently the ICSpark vice president.
I'm Coleman Lau. I'm a sophomore at UH Manoa, currently majoring in management information systems, and I'm a mentor in ICSparks.
My name is Dominic Lau. I'm also a sophomore in UH Manoa, and my major is also MIS. And I'm also a mentor in ICSpark.
What is ICSpark?
ICSpark is a registered independent organization at the University of Hawaii at Manoa that teaches students web development from 6th to 12th grade. Our parent organization, Torch, or Technology Outreach Hawaii, is a 501c3 nonprofit that promotes STEM education or tech education in Hawaii.
Why did each of you get involved with ICSpark? Coleman looks like the one who can really answer this at this moment.
I was never taught in a formal class environment in terms of web development. I was taught by a good friend of mine who was proficient at it. And because of that and how much fun I had learning from him, I decided to join ICSpark as a student out of curiosity and in hopes of bettering my skills. And after experiencing ICSpark as a student, I decided to join as a mentor.
I can continue on that story because it's the same friend. We had this project, a passion project that we had to do during our sophomore year in high school. And I wanted to do something computer related, but I didn't know exactly where to start. So my friend, he showed me his project that he's been working on with another group of his, and he was willing to teach us how to make our own website. And after completing that project, we heard about ICSpark from our high school computer science teacher during our senior year, and that's when we joined ICSpark.
And for me, I was just involved in STEM education programs as a freshman in college, and I just found that ICSpark aligned a lot with my interest, and I decided to join it. I love the aspect of teaching computer science. I found it really enjoyable, and also it helped strengthen my computer science principle skills, so I really appreciated it.
What does it mean to code?
Coding is like translating instructions for computers to read. If I were to think of it as an analogy, it would be like writing a recipe for other people to follow.
What does an applicant need to know before they apply with ICSpark?
A really big thing is that you don't have to have experience in HTML or style sheets or JavaScript, which is the coding aspect too. You can just come in and we'll teach you everything that you need to know from the ground up, which is really exciting. And it is a 4-month commitment between January to April, Saturdays in the morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Briana, how are ICSpark instructors selected, and how do you each teach during a classroom session?
Yeah, actually it has evolved incredibly. First, we did a lot of online Zoom, we had breakout rooms, and then now we've noticed a shift that not as many people want to be online. They want to be in person. So our entire cohort is actually in person this year. So that was a really exciting change from last year because we had maybe half the students online and then half the students in person.
For ICSpark, when it's a classroom at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, for the 31 students, is it how many mentors per student, or is it just one person leading the class?
We don't really have an assigned student group. It's more of like we go around the class and check on students to see how their progress, whether they need help.
I guess to add on to that, we generally have a speaker who teaches the lesson plans. After our speaker teaches the lessons, we would have the students recreate a project that we've created beforehand, following the instructions that we've put out. And while they're working on that, we would usually have mentors walk around to check on their progress. And if they have any questions or have any issues, we would assist them with them.
Can parents and siblings sit in during the class session?
For our regular weekly classes, we do not allow parents or siblings to sit in those lessons, but we do have a final showcase at the end of the program where all the parents and the siblings can come and see the progress, what the students have created throughout the program.
What kind of results have come through? Because it's an introduction to website design.
It is the same lesson plans, but I would say the projects vary throughout the years, and it's really interesting to see them.
I remember some students, or one of the projects that a student has made, it was like a color blender where they selected colors and then it gets put into a blender, and then the blender generates the color that they have thrown into that blender.
Oh, I remember.
That one actually stood out to me.
It was a very interesting project.
What about your guys' project?
You can go first.
Okay. I created a game. It was a game that I've enjoyed playing. It's a bullet hell game called Toho. It's where you play as a character and you avoid a bunch of like projectiles or stuff like that. Yeah.
I made a platformer game using HTML, CSS, and Java script.
We just heard from Dominic and Coleman, and also Briana from ICSpark talking about the different courses and possibilities of learning how to code, teaching kids coding in Hawaii with ICSpark. What will a student accomplish at the end of the course?
I believe that we focus on the student's foundation in developing it. We know that AI is a huge part of today's web development program, and you can just generate a website via HTML, CSS, JavaScript, via like Claude is really good for it. But we really want to focus on the fundamentals, because when the students then learn the fundamentals and they decide to use AI for their websites and they have to make adjustments to it, they'll know how to make those adjustments to make their website better and hone in on what they exactly want.
And you're helping these students discover their own creative spark. I see it. I see Spark. I just got it just now. How is ICSpark able to offer free coding classes to Hawaii Keiki grades 6 through 12?
For us, we have a parent organization that was mentioned, Torch, or Technology Outreach Hawaii, and their main focus is our program and also just helping students in K-12 with technology. They help fund us, they help find funding for us, and they've been really a good supportive partner and organization. They are a 501c3 nonprofit, so they've definitely really helped our program. Also, we apply for funding through the school. Since we are a registered independent organization, we can apply for Manoa's funding to help us out.
Is there a way for former students to learn how to become instructors? Are they also involved with the course development, further suggestions, and what have each of you come away with so far from completing the program and being in the position of being a mentor with ICSpark?
Generally, the course structure remains the same throughout, or at least my time as a student and as a mentor as well. But my takeaway from being a former student and a mentor now is that as a mentor, it's okay to be vulnerable and authentic with yourself. You don't need to be a know-it-all. You don't need to know everything about the subject to teach people. As long as you show that you care about them, and they know that you want to teach them or they want to learn, then I think that's really all you need.
From a student to a mentor, I know that interactions with student and mentor is very important because it helps develop their confidence, experience, and knowledge. And I believe that it is very important.
Can you each share on being safer online? I think not just for students, a lot of folks just kind of take it for granted that there's firewalls at work. There's so much talk about how AI is helpful and sometimes it can be harmful if we're not paying attention and we don't have a certain awareness.
There are some fishy websites that may look similar to like actual company, but if you maybe look at their URL, you can notice maybe there are some substitute letters it replaces with a number, or like any capitalizations that shouldn't be there. You can look out for those. Now I believe you can hover your mouse over a URL and then you can see the entire URL and you can read it from there. Another safe way, especially if you're getting sent an email towards this website, you can just type the company name instead on Google and you can just head there directly. That's for URLs. As for like fishy phone numbers or phone numbers that you may not know, personally, I don't really pick up phones that I don't know. I check with my friends and families to see if this is a number that they recognize. If it's not, I usually don't do anything about it and I just like block it or something.
I can add on to that. Usually if there is an offer, especially through email, that's too good to be true, generally you should never click on it.
Really good advice. It's a good start. And how Dominic was saying and Coleman, that you just take a beat. There's no rush to click on everything. We're here with ICSpark. We have Briana Lee, Coleman Lau, Dominic Lau. ICSpark teaches kids grades 6 through 12 coding in Hawaii. I'm Kathy with a K, your host, and we touched upon artificial intelligence with ICSpark within coding that's taught.
Currently, we're focusing mostly on the foundation, but we did find that last year our cohort actually knew how to use AI already, and they were just going at it. So some of the projects were really amazing and very interesting to see, while maybe the following cohort doesn't really use AI. So we definitely can strengthen their foundation and lean them towards a project with AI, but it's really just we want to build that foundation.
When is the next available course and open application window for the next web development course with ICSpark?
We usually open our applications in October and close them in December. Zero experience. The only questions that we ask is like, why are you interested in ICSpark? What do you hope to gain from us? And just your willingness to learn. That's all we want.
And what about for the mentors? What do you hope or ask them? I was like, what do you want to get out of being a mentor?
We actually have a college computer science class that is an introduction to software engineering. So we do ourselves learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript at the college level, and going through the program as a mentor, it really does strengthen your computer science principal skills. And for me, I went through the program and then I took the class and I thought I did pretty well because I knew what I was doing, because we had timed projects that we had to complete within 10 minutes, and we had to build a website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I thought because of the skills that I gained as a mentor, it really helped me in my classes.
For those who are aged out of participating with ICSpark, could you suggest a basic package or coding program that would be a good introduction to understand HTML?
We offer our program or the instructions or the lesson plans online, actually hosted on our GitHub, which is, I think, just ICSpark.github.com. And you can just go read through it. But other programs, I would say Udemy has really good courses that you can take. You can also, if you are a student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, you are eligible to participate as a mentor. We do teach you in the fall all the skills that you need in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
I wouldn't think to learn how to code. It just seems like it's a far away thing. And when I read about ICSpark, I thought, wow, this is something that makes it accessible. Public school, private school, it doesn't matter. And that it's a free course, it's just a matter of becoming aware of it. Have you been able to go to different schools that have computer science programs, different campuses, to talk more about it?
Yeah, we usually use social media. Sometimes we do class visits, but it's mostly through our department for computer science, and we just advertise all the different clubs that we offer at the university.
Should we highlight the website to get more information? Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Rickards. I'm a mentor as well as a webmaster for ICSparks, and I've been with them for about 3 years now. As previously stated, we do have a lot of information on our site currently. We are redesigning, so look forward to that. What you can also find is some of our featured projects from our students from previous showcases. So what we like to do is we like to make a copy of their project, put it on our page, that way other students can get excited about possibilities of what they can make during our program. You can find it easily just by searching up ICSpark. I think the specific link is icspark.github.io.
Is there anything else that maybe you want to highlight? Yeah.
Our showcase is on April 25th, Saturday. It will be in person at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and it's open to the public. So we're going to have parents, siblings, and some of our community members come to see what the students have created throughout the program.
Have you ever had students return as a refresher? Are they allowed to come back?
Yes. Okay. Something that I've realized is some of them return because of their friends.
Oh, I guess while we are talking about ICSpark, how has it been applied in your own lives?
As the vice president, I've gained a lot of management skills on how to run a program. It takes a lot of work. It takes a village to really run this program. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to learn how to talk to people, to get funding, to organize events. I feel like that's something that you may not get to experience just being a student.
Being a mentor yourself, once again, you get to relearn fundamentals and reinforce your fundamentals and understanding for web development. As a mentor to the students, you get improved language and communication skills because you're trying to convey these higher ideas and complex mechanics to these sometimes like very young kids, right? So they might understand. So you have to develop these specific analogies to work with them. And you typically catch on what you might take as like common sense, but is actually what they struggle with the most.
Thank you to Briana Lee, Coleman Lau, Dominic Lau, and David Rickards of ICSpark. You can follow at ICSpark Hawaii on Instagram to learn more. To share or replay this episode, please search Hawaii Matters where you stream podcasts. For Pacific Media Group, I'm Kathy with a K. Mahalo.